Okay, that's it. I'm calling it. Boom, we're wrapping up. Once you guys see how many tickers I traded today, you're gonna get a good old chuckle from this one. Oh, what a day. Okay, let's just switch over to the recap screen so you guys can see what was going on from my end. So we got what is this? How many tickers? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Eight tickers we traded today. Usually I'll trade one ticker. That's like my favorite day. If I'm trading over three tickers, it's like something's usually off because I usually I'm not jumping around so much. I find the lead gapper and I'm trading that one with full focus. And then sometimes there's like two, three lead gappers, right? But over five almost never happens. And I think I've never traded eight tickers before. There's so much to review here that I think what would probably be best is look at the daily chart on all these tickers and just see if we can find something that there's some similarities, because almost every ticker today besides PALT and then right at the end, which I actually did not trade, USWS, so I probably should have kept trading, did not fail. So we were talking in the Discord a lot that today, one of the first times in a very long time, it would have been better not to trade pre-market. Let me actually hide this news here so you can see all these tickers popping up. But it would have been better not to trade pre-market because pre-market, we had a gapper, something popped up 20-30% and then just failed. And one trade after another, I had a loser. I was down like $400 pre-market. Then I made back a little bit. And then I went down to $1,000. I think it was like almost $2,000 down on the day, which is just about being down 10% off my average position size. My average position size, I think, is like around almost at 13,000 for this month. I know it was like at 12.5 for a little bit, but then I used bigger size. So I think it was closer to around $13,000. So I almost stopped out for the day because if I'm down $1.3 thousand, that's 10% of my average position size for the month. And boom, I can't do any more trading. So I was so close to being stopped out. I was pretty much at that border, and then I went downstairs because I'm in the hotel right now, had breakfast, came back up and got ready for the market open. And I was just like, you know what, if we see anything, anything good, any sort of front side potential, I'm gonna trade it, but I'm just gonna take really quick base hits to dig myself out of the hole. And it worked, but at the same time, if I didn't take base hits, actually surprisingly, I probably would have had a green day today because of PALT. So let's review these tickers relatively quick individually. I don't want to take too much time, but at the same time, I want to start with the daily on them and see what kind of interesting things we can find, because the amount of failed gappers today was really unprecedented in a way. I mean, this was a very hectic day. Let me actually take a screenshot here so I can just quickly search these tickers and I don't have to go back and constantly look. So USWS, look at this ticker. Most of the time was below the 180-day simple moving average. That's always something that I really look for, because technically it's a downwards trending stock. Right now it's on a little bit of a front side as it broke this area, but overall a lot of downward trending tickers. Let's see what else we got here. So let's start with my biggest loser, which is FOLD. So as FOLD. Also, boom, big rejection here, big resistance as well, right above the 180-day simple moving average, did not have continuation. And let's actually check the daily as well, just to kind of move along very quickly. This is the ticker, by the way, I'm most red on. $700 loss, and this is so ridiculous, this loss. It bothers me. Anyway, this ticker, starting a front side move, very slow. Like almost every ticker we were trading today didn't really have the best front side momentum. So I started trading this pullback. I had my last size here thinking we get at least a move back here. We didn't, and then I started closing my trade. The problem is I didn't close this position quick enough, and I only had a very small size left at this point, but I just held this ticker too long. I usually cut my losses very quickly. On this one, for some reason, I didn't. I held on to it too long, and this sell-off from the highs was, 10%, 11% was pretty miserable. Actually, it was much more than that. It was like 13, 14%. I did cut my losses, obviously, way before that, but I held on to this one way too long. I think where I bought here, I probably should have just closed the whole thing, took like a $300 loss or so, and moved on. I don't know, maybe a little bit stubborn, but at least I wasn't stubborn enough to keep holding it after that. So that's FOLD. So big rejection here, also on a backside move. Basically, this ticker is on a daily backside trend. Next ticker, JZXN. I'm down like 400 on this one, if you guys remember. JZXN. Yep. Also, there's not even really a trend on this one, but it's so ugly on the daily that there's not even much worth talking about. Also, quick front side pop here. I'm like, okay, let's go. I start accumulating here, looking for that move. Doesn't work. Close some of my position here. Close the rest right here. So this is where you see I typically close my my losers very quickly, and I'm not trying to ride it down, but man, this is stressful. FBIO. Let's go to this one. This one actually had I shorted this one a few times on accident today because FBIO was easy to borrow, which means sometimes if I'm trying to close out, let's say, I don't know, 980 shares, and because there was like a partial fill, and if I close out and if I place, I'll just show you guys. And if I let's say I'm long 980 shares, and then I want to close out with 1,000, I click sell. I'm actually going to be 20 shares short. Most of the time, the order just cancels out because there's no shares available to short on a lot of these small caps. But I kept on going short on this ticker, and it was a little bit annoying, but kind of my fault. But kind of a summary of today. So FBIO, look at this, also on a down backside move on the daily. So a lot of these tickers, I say again and again, I don't like trading stocks when they're not up over 40%. And today was a really good reminder of why I don't like that. So I can really explain it and show you guys very detailed. So yeah, another example on the daily, a ticker that didn't work, FBIO, big resistance at 4, but even the 180 days kind of coming in here for a retest. So let's zoom in on this one, how this one played out. Big move, but it was technically only 20%. So, nice pop, nice 1 minute pop for sure, but it didn't have continuation. Pulled back, and then it looked like it was going to break out here. And this is one of the first trades on the day. This is 7:05, and I'm accumulating. I'm buying. I'm buying more. I did sell a little bit, but I'm overall trying to grow my size. And then I made one mistake here. I actually sold right around like 450 because there was just so many sellers popping up. Anyway, it did break, and then I get FOMO, and then I start buying here, and then this one didn't work, and I took actually one of my biggest losses here. And the reason this was one of my biggest losses is because look at these winners. This winner, I was only long 972 shares, and I'm not totally sure how much I was long this one because this was kind of a sloppy in and out, but I sold here for 3,000 shares, and then my loser, I was long almost 5,000 shares. So 2 wins, but then my loss, percentage-wise, wasn't necessarily that bad. It was just a really big size. So again, just a bunch of chop. That was FBIO, down 200 on that one. Yeah, the next ticker, let's see, GOVX. Let's go to this one, GOVX. Again, backside move here. Don't have to explain this again. You guys kind of get it, I hope, at this point. Leave a comment if you don't, but I would probably just recommend rewatching this from the beginning. GOVX, so this ticker crawls up. Small moves, and then around, this is one of the first tickers as well that I traded besides FBIO. And, I started accumulating this one ready for continuation. Guess what? No continuation, fails. I thought we were going to get at least a little bit move here, 5% move. I don't know. I cut my losses really quick on this one, low expectations, and it's been selling off ever since. Yeah, that was GOVX. Now let's go to GREE. Another ticker today. Actually, no, I'm down 200 on this one as well. The daily chart's really ugly on this one. I gotta say, this ticker though is on a overall front side move, but the action on this one's a little bit tough. It has these really big 1 or 2 day spikes, and then it sells off. 1 or 2 day spikes, sells off. This looks like a gap day here and a gap day here, but it had a little bit of momentum coming in, and now we're kind of like on a little bit of a backside popping into big resistance. I thought maybe we would get a move here to $40. That was kind of my play on GREE. And I did a bit of a trade. Didn't I trade this one a little earlier? No. So I did a small trade on this one. Let me zoom out on the 5 minutes so you guys can get a better overview. Oh boy. Yeah. So I This is just looking back at all these trades is so ridiculous. It's crazy how choppy today was and how many failed attempts we had today. So GREE 15% move here. I try to start trading this one in the front side, doesn't work. Take a loser there. Try trading this into the breakout. I think I made money on this one because I was really quick to take profits because I had no chill left at this point. Did a small little dip trade here, made some profit, but when this thing was slightly looking like it might see the front side again, I unfortunately didn't trade it. Could have had some potential. Now it's coming towards a double bottom, already having a little bit of a pop here. Today could have been a day of scalping. You could have scalped a lot today. Let's go to AUVI. AUVI. So this ticker, also similar situation, below the 180-day simple moving average. It's a backside ticker. It's not a blue sky setup like PALT, which we're going to review. And PALT was definitely one of the best tickers today. I could have made a killing on PALT, but I had so much PTSD pretty much from pre-market. I was traumatized. I just didn't have the conviction to hold through anything. You guys will see that in a second. But AUVI, also backside. Look at this one. Didn't hold. Just keeps selling off. No shares to borrow here. So, I could have not just, held and shorted and held. So, a little bit of a range trading here. I think the reason I walked away with some profit on AUVI is because I realized we were range trading and I realized this was a pullback range trade, which typically fail. So I was really quick to take my profits on this one, but it wasn't enough to really put me that much in the green. NCNA. One of the better tickers arguably today to some extent, but also on the backside here, selling off below the 180-day moving average, big resistance here. So that's really the trend that is appearing over and over again today. That's really, really worth noting. And let's go to the daily here. Let me zoom in here on the 5-minute as well and zoom out a little bit. So this ticker reminded me a little bit of SNOA from, was that Monday? We had a really, really quick move here again, about 20%. Didn't really hold its highs or didn't have that continuation, but pulled back and then had another pop. And that's when I jumped on board. I was thinking we would get a really good rip in this area to some highs. We never ended up doing that. I still walked away with $600 roughly on this one. But look at SNOA very quickly from the day before. Similar situation where quick 20% pop here. Actually, no, this was a quick 50% pop. So you can already see the difference here. This one, huge momentum, pulled back, it again popped up, and I did some trading in this area, but I didn't, average into this one as much as I should have. I didn't trade this one as aggressively as I should have. So I did leave a lot of money on the table. So when I was trading NCNA today, I should have realized it was a little bit weaker. It wasn't like SNOA, but that's why I got really aggressive here in this area, and I was really looking for that big pop that just never came. Plus, we had that little upside here as well, but it wasn't a blue sky setup like we'll show on PALT in a second. Into the market open, there was a little bit of a red to green potential, but I took profits really quickly, and I tried this pullback, but didn't work out. So, I was constantly like this close away from any ticker that would have worked. So the fact that, I'm not like stopped out for the day, I really am pretty happy about that alone. Now let's go to PALT. Let's go to the daily chart. So PALT, what I like about this one, and you'll notice how different it is right away from all these other tickers, is this one is above the 180-day simple moving average. It's a front side ticker, and on top of those two really beautiful things, that's an arrow, by the way. It has no resistance. That's why it's a blue sky setup. There's no resistance above. There's no like, okay, well, we had, a big peak here at $10 that we eventually had big resistance. So we're going to run into that shoulder and, we'll definitely have some resistance there. There's just no resistance on this ticker. And I guess I should have traded it more aggressively, but I was so red on the day. Like I said, I was this close away to being stopped out, which means I can't trade anymore. So I was taking base hits, and I did this little pullback here, instantly got red on this one, but it popped up and I closed it right away. I was like, oh, like I could have stopped out on that one. Tried this pullback, didn't have that good continuation, closed right away because it just, you felt the sellers. Then we popped up here and I was like, every ticker I traded today did not work. So I'm just going to close it. Guess what? That one actually ends up, the one time I don't hold ends up popping 9%. That's why you just kind of always have to hold. You always have to, play it, everything fresh. Always easier said than done. Did the similar move here, but smaller size and took profits even quicker. PALT was crazy. I mean, this ticker was getting halted. It was really pushing heavy to the front side. Big moves here. Do I regret like not still trading? I don't know, because there's probably a good chance I would have traded this one wrong. I mean, the price action is not that great on it. These two pullbacks were pretty nice, but I don't know what this is. This is like, who knows? I probably would have bought a breakout here and got chopped out, and then it ran, and I would be, you know, freaking out. So at the same time, it doesn't bother me that much that I missed this. It was a tough day. It was what it really was as well is it was a tough pre-market, and it was a tough morning. It was a really good like lunch or like, you know, 11 to 12 so far. It got pretty good, or even like 10 to 12. The problem is that's usually when I'm done trading. So my peak hours of trading, it was very, very difficult to trade today. So I think that's really where I had some problems. Would I, if I was, you know, if you guys are long PLAT, or if I was long PLT, how would I want to, you know, treat this one? I would be really careful, blindly holding this one like overnight or something like this. You know, the market cap right now is 104 million, but it was like 30 million not too long ago, and yeah, the shares here, 8.2 million shares outstanding. This is a ticker that once I feel like it loses its steam, it's going to have a big sell-off. So I'd be really careful here. Obviously, I don't want to predict anything. That's not what I do as a trader. I just look for good risk reward and I trade it. I'm never really trying to predict what a stock is going to do. So we'll see what happens. If it keeps holding its highs and it, you know, closes strong, who knows? It could have a good rally. But I would not be able to sleep at night holding this one overnight, buying at $13 right now, for sure. No. Then again, I don't do that many overnight trades. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about PLT in the video description below. Or not the video description, in the comments below. And also let me know what you guys think about, you know, trading tickers below that 180-day simple moving average or above that 180-day simple moving average. What are your big indicators for these, you know, front side, or if a ticker is going to really perform well? One thing also worth thinking about is that, you know, initial 20% pop versus SNOA that we talked about for a second, that had a similar move, but had a 50% pop. So sometimes you just feel it. Certain tickers have much more power in it. And like I said in the beginning of this video, oftentimes if a ticker is not moving over 40%, I tend to avoid it, or I'm much more cautious. And I hope that this video kind of explains that a little bit better. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up this video here. Don't forget to drop a like on the way out. It's the easiest way to support the channel. Definitely leave a comment below this video to let me know what you think. Subscribe if you're new. And like always, guys, stay safe and make some awesome trades. Ciao, ciao.